You're back with your girls, Meesa and Meah from You Already Know. It's M&M Live Radio, and it's the moment you all have been waiting for.
Yes, that's right, Meesa. He's won over the hearts of many with his charisma, work ethic, and of course, his undeniable talent. From every verse to every hook to every chorus, he's proven that with his consistency and his vocal talent, he's absolutely unstoppable. His new album, Final Draft, is out now, and we're about to talk to the mastermind behind the music right here, right now. We want to welcome national recording artist Jaylon Ashaun to the show. What's going on, Jaylon?
Yo, what's poppin'?
Listen, what's good, man? Listen, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us here on M&M Live Radio.
Yo, it's a pleasure, yo. Thanks for having me.
Man, we're so excited. But we've been looking forward to having you on the show, especially since going to your Final Drafts release show this past Wednesday. It was a full house, y'all. I'm telling you, standing room. Everyone came out to the show to show their love. But how was it finally performing the Final Drafts live and seeing everyone come out to vibe with you that night?
Yeah, it was crazy. So that was my first kind of headlining situation in Atlanta. That we kind of helped put on. I've done some headlining stuff.
Yeah.
With some other people, which was super dope. And this was kind of a hybrid show, but like it was super dope to just be able to do the whole project and to see people rock with it. And we walked back, we was like, yo, people were singing the lyrics. Like, it was crazy.
Listen, it was so cool. Yeah, for sure. Like, it was so, I always think that it's so cool seeing, like, it's one thing when you see, like, people comment and see people saying that they vibe with the music, but then actually seeing it in front of you, it's probably got to be like a whole new, like a whole different experience, for you. But listen, we can't talk about the final drafts and not talk about the rough drafts, man. So we got to get into it. So now for those of you guys who don't know, I'm going to catch you up real quick. So from February to August of this year, Jaylon's been dropping rough drafts, which are 1-minute songs, and along with that, been releasing music videos with them. Now, looking back over all of those months, Jaylon, what was like your biggest takeaway from the whole rough drafts experience?
The biggest takeaway, it was probably this reality of like having fun and being consistent, and that anything worth doing is a lot of work, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like we were going the extra mile and making stuff happen with the rough drafts. But we constantly saw it paying off, and so it gave us motivation to kind of keep going. So.
Now while keeping up with the weekly content can be hectic because you were just so consistent, was it ever stressful maintaining that consistency?
Oh, facts. I remember one time for the Stick to the Plan video, because everybody got schedules, right? So it was I got a dope team. My videographer is named Mikhail Raw Mixer on IG. And I remember one time we had to shoot it, because it's not like, so people were asking us like, yo, I know you got these videos stocked up, right? Like y'all just releasing them, but y'all like 6 weeks stocked up. And that wasn't the case, because we didn't plan for this to go the way that it went. So we were like doing it like weekly. So I remember one time we were like, yo, we need a video for this week. And my boy Mikhail was like, yo, I'm going home to Orlando, and I fly out, Monday, and I was out of town until like Sunday, and I was like, yo, how are we gonna shoot this? So I booked a flight, a Spirit flight, shout out Spirit, to Orlando. I flew in, met with them. We were gonna shoot in Orlando that day. It rained, so we were like, and there was nothing in Orlando to shoot, like there was just nothing cool. So we were like, yo, let's drive to Miami. We went to Miami at like 1 a.m. Like drove there 1 a.m. Stayed at our friend Cassandra's house. Y'all might know her, Cat. And we shot a video in Miami that next day, and literally was editing the draft like the whole trip back that Wednesday, and dropped the draft at like 8 p.m. at night. Now it's 6 to the plan. So
Listen,
yeah, it was crazy.
Listen, the commitment you guys had. I remember after the release show, I talked to Michael and also Rox and like your whole team behind it, and I was asking them, I was like, how was the whole process? And they were like, man, it was stressful, man. You would think that we had all this stuff planned out. They said, no, we were staying up to this o'clock in the morning. I was like, man, but it's so cool seeing like, when you have a team behind you, like, the mission is completely impossible. And it's crazy because like, when I was like, following you, you would think that like when you would travel, we'd be like, oh, okay, we're not going to get a video because Jaylon's in Poland this week, or he's out of town. But no, oh wait, no, here it's Wednesday and there's a draft out. We got a video out too. So to see the consistency has been like, really dope. and like, just seeing the work ethic has been crazy. But listen, guys, your girls M&M are hanging out with the one and only Jaylon Ashaun right here, right now. And let's go ahead and get into this new project, man. You picked some of your favorite rough drafts and made them into full-length songs, hence the title, Final Draft. Now, I feel like the album is the epitome of highly anticipated.
Yes.
Like every time a new rough draft would drop, I would always see like the comments, "Oh, you gotta finish this one. Where's the rest of the song, Jaylon?" Like people will always have something to say. Now, did you expect like such a overwhelming response when it came to people wanting you to finish the final draft? I mean, the rough drafts.
Yeah. So when we picked the name Rough Draft for the series, we didn't take into consideration that, like rough draft really meant that, like, oh yeah, people were expecting it. Like, I didn't go into this project thinking that I needed to like, I would have an album or a complete project at the end of it.
Wow.
And so to hear people say, yo, you need to finish it, we would always be like, oh yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, come on, like, just stay tuned. And then it got to a point where we were like, oh, yo, we probably should finish these songs and people are going to be really angry.
People like, listen, Jaylon, meet me outside right now. We're finish the drafts, man. I was like, oh, people are committed.
Right, yeah. People was like, yo, forget you, bro. Like, I remember I saw a comment that was like, yo, I've been waiting for you to finish Strawberries and Wine for 6 months. And I was like, oh, jeez. Like, I probably should do something about that at this point. Like, you probably won't be satisfied with me just saying, yo, it's coming. So, but what's crazy is, like, people had also been, like, saying, hey, because I had been dropping singles before I did the drafts, and people were like, yo, like, we want, like, a full collection of work from you. And I'm still kind of developing, I feel like, even still my sound as I kind of mature and kind of grow as a musician and different things like that. And so I didn't really know what a full collection of art looked like for me right now. And also sometimes I just felt like it's just worth it right now. Like, singles just are the move for me. But the way the final draft kind of happened, or the rough draft happened, made the project come together so well that people were like, yo, every song is a banger. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy, because we literally just put out a bunch of songs and we just put the top one. So the people who didn't even hear the rough draft are hearing the project down, are like, yo, this whole project is just dope top to bottom. So it was definitely a cool, like, method to kind of weed out songs that may have landed on the album because you like them, but that just weren't good for the project. So.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I love Final Draft so much, but I honestly feel like, Meah, and correct me if I'm wrong, I honestly feel like Jaylon has spoiled us to the point where I love the project listening to it, but then I got mad when it was over with, because I was like, where's Sandcastle? Where's Motley Crue? Where's Paranoia? You know what I'm saying? Where's Honestly?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, we either way, the project being out has been so dope. Listening to, hearing everything else done, like hearing it when it was in its rough stage, then hearing it in its entirety has been great. But you left us as listeners and as your fans wanting more. Yeah. So if that means, like, when the next project comes out, it's like, okay, well, great, because I mean, like, Final Drafts left us on such a high. He's feeding us more great content. So that's big ups to you, Jaylon. Now, you're not the only one on this project yourself. You got some amazing features from artists like Aaron Cole, Wande, Byron Jawan, Hovey, and so many more. And each artist, it's interesting because each artist was a perfect fit on the song that they were on. Yeah. Now, how did you go about choosing who would be a great addition to your songs?
Yeah, so I have this whiteboard kind of in my house, and me and my team, we just started. Let me start this. So, in the kind of music scene, right, you just run into a bunch of people that are your friends, and sometimes it's people you don't really know. And you always hear, like, oh, let's work. But the reality is, when somebody's working on their project, like, or working on kind of their art, like, a lot of times you just can't just put everybody on your project, because it just doesn't make sense a lot of times for the project that you're working on. And so for me, I always ran into that. Like, if I'm working on a single, like, unless I have a specific person in mind, I didn't really have the opportunity to, like, just work with really other people. Like, I didn't do a bunch of features with a bunch of people. I did a few this year. And I remember Ed Sheeran dropped his collab album, and I thought it was such a dope concept about, like, having all these features on one album. And I was like, man, this is a fun project. All these songs, for my part, are basically written. I was like, yo, all this needs is some dope features, and what a better opportunity to get, like, my friends on this album. And so that's what I did. I was like, yo, who's dope that I really connect with, that I've been wanting to work on, and that like has been wanting to work with me, that would make sense for this project. And we just started listing names. There was actually 2 more guys that were supposed to be on it, but we were actually gonna have Honestly on the project. That's one of my favorite joints. But my other homie got sick, and then my other friend Will Giddens had some stuff, so he wasn't able to get his verse in time. But it was an opportunity to say, hey, I'm getting all my friends on here. And I think what was super dope, I was like, let me get, because you always have people who come to me and they're like, yo, let's work. Like, and I'm like, I just don't know you. Not a bad thing. You could be really dope. I just don't know you. And so I was like, man, let me put out a competition to get people who say, hey, I want to work with Jaylon to, take a stab at laying a verse down. And we ended up getting my boy Solomon Heaton, who we don't know each other that well. And he submitted a dope verse and it ended up on the project. So that's kind of how it all came about.
Listen, Jaylon, I gotta be honest with you. I gotta go ahead and say that I was very protective over the drafts. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I saw the track list, right? And I saw, you got features on there, and I know some of the people on there, but I'm not gonna lie, I was like, Jaylon can do this himself. Because you know what I'm saying? Right. I'm thinking this only because I'm like, I would be so mad if someone got on the draft and messed it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was like, we're going to see how these features go, but I'm listening to the project with Bulldog face. I'm like, I'm just making sure everybody just come through. But listen, like, all facts, everybody on that project snapped. Yes. No cap with it. Even like the producers, like I know, like, T. Willa, Zach Paradise, Juice Bangers, and of course Carvello. Like, everyone a part of the project went off, and it was just so dope seeing everyone to be able to see your vision, but then also be able to add to it and add their own flavor. It was just so dope, yo. And we're so glad that you ended the year with dropping Final Draft. And I know everyone, and when I say everyone, I mean like artists, have been posting their 2019 Spotify rap stats. And you ended this year with 1 million streams, and like your stats have been like doubled and tripled and so much. And you did all of this with no label. And I love that, because most artists feel like they need a label to put out great content or to get those numbers. But artists like you proven that that's not necessarily the case. So what advice would you give independent artists who want to make quality music, quality content, and see results in return?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, somebody literally just DM'd me and asked me this other day, and I said consistency and quality, like, are just key. Like, for me, everybody got to find their own way, but like for me, it's like, man, people just want like dope stuff all the time, and if you can like give them dope stuff in a unique way, and you can be consistent with it, man, people will rock with you. And I think like even my journey, like I've been doing music for years, and I was talking to my team and looking back and being like, yo, like look how far we've come. Like I posted that rap or that Spotify stat, and like if you scroll to the last one, it's like me when I had like 104 followers on Spotify. And that was back when I was in college. Yeah. And I remember walking in my class, because at the time Spotify wasn't just verifying all the artists. You had to have like 250. You had to have 250 followers before they would verify you. And I remember going to my I think it was a business class. And after the class, I was like, yo, can everybody in here follow me on Spotify? Here's my name. And I got like 100 or something followers that day. And I think that was like the picture from that. And it's like, yo, like we still out here kind of in one sense, on the ground doing marketing and getting in front of the people. And that's what you got to do when you're independent. You got to work hard at it, and it's paying off. So,
Man, that's
what
dope.
I would say.
That's really, really dope. So I hope everybody, especially independent artists, are taking notes, because this man is actually doing it. He's living it out, and he's thriving in his craft. But thanks again for rocking with us here on this week's show. But before you go, Jaylon, give everybody a social media so that they can stay connected with you.
Yeah. Jaylon Ashaun on everything. JAYLON ASHAUN. You check me out on all streaming platforms and all social media platforms. So
listen, guys, make sure you're following Jaylon on all social media. And listen, man, I'm only telling you what I know. Go get this new album, Final Draft. It's sold everywhere digitally.
Yes. And thanks again, Jaylon, for hanging out with us. And before you go, I just have to make sure that I just let it be known that we are so proud of you, and for you to put on the Final Draft. show, and for Meah and myself and even Kimo to be singing every single lyric. Hopefully we didn't embarrass you in any way.
Listen,
nah, y'all be showing love. Come on.
Man, yeah, but like for real, seriously, like I think R&B has to be like my first love when it comes to music. That's like my favorite genre, and for you to be as young as you are and in this generation and just have this really true respect and deep artistry for, the genre of R&B and to put it out in this dope content, I truly appreciate you and your artistry and this project, and it's so highly anticipated, and we just really encourage you to keep on going and just know that you have our support as always here on the show. So we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right.
Of course, of course. Now, to all of our listeners out there, don't go anywhere because you're about to hear new music from Ashaun himself right here, right now.
That's right, that's right. Here's Company by Jaylon Ashaun from his new album, Final Draft. Listen, grab the one you love and turn this one all the way up, and we'll be right back. You're listening to, you already know.
It's M&M Live Radio.